Hey there YouTube, Travis here. Today I have a surprise for you. Go ahead and check this out here. This is a Puch Maxi. What a surprise, right? Oh man. So this is a Puch Maxi. This is a 1979 Maxi 2 and it has something very special about it. You might have an idea because of the fact that I just said Maxi 2 as well as the video description, but this is my very first Puch moped with a 2-speed. Alright. So, like every moped I buy, I find that it teaches me a couple of really important lessons. Well, when I saw this one, I was really blown away by the shape of the cosmetics on it. I mean, this thing has been garage kept for the past at least 20 years. And there's only very light surface rust on the wheels, very light surface rust on the handlebars, and the paint on this thing is probably the best out of any of the mopeds that I own as far as vintage original paint is concerned. The seat doesn't have any rips or tears in it, and I mean overall this thing was just really nice shape. Another thing I was impressed with was the amount of documentation this bike came with. So here's an original Puch bag, and inside the original keys for the fork lock, which I will not be using. Too many of my bikes have had these keys broken off in the lock, and honestly it's just not that valid of a theft deterrent system when compared to a good chain. Also, I'm not sure how well it's going to come out on the camera here, but on top of the steering nut there's a little decal here for Pittsburgh Harley Davidson. That's right, this bike was actually purchased at a Harley Davidson dealership. And here is the original bill of sale. So this bike was made in February of '79, but was not sold until July of '81 out of this Harley dealership in Pittsburgh. The gentleman who bought it originally paid $734 for it. Oh, wow. And it looks like it was brought back in 1982 at some point, and they did put a new throttle cable on it, spark plug, used some hose clamps, and they cleaned the carburetor for a price of $100 and $101. Looks like $54. Interesting. So anyway, on to the lessons I learned about this bike, more or less the buying and selling of things. I responded to an ad online for this. Again, the price was $250. And there were two claims about this bike that weren't totally correct. The first was that the gas tank was clean, and the second was that it turned over and had compression. Now granted, this bike had been garage kept, so I think in good faith the previous owner decided that since it had just been always sitting in a garage that it would turn over. Same thing with the gas tank. And unfortunately, it's not horrible, but it's not quite ideal either. If I can get a light down there even. Well, for this one, hopefully I'll get a chance to make a video about it. I'm not going to go to quite the extreme lengths that I usually do, where I do a POR 15 treatment for this tank. I'm going to see what I can do using a little bit less abrasive method. I'm going to go ahead and try the vinegar method and see how that goes, and I'll report back to you guys once I've started that. And unfortunately, let's see if I can kick her over here. She is stuck, but I believe that's just from sitting. I don't think any water's gotten down there. This bike is pretty nicely featured. I believe that's the high torque cylinder. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just guessing because of the black paint on there. Got a nice vintage petcock there. But it is complete. It's got one of these Speedos that has the cool, oh man, you're getting into the orange, you're almost getting up to 30 miles an hour. The bike reads 2,700 miles. Like I said, cosmetically this thing's in decent shape, and as soon as I get that engine free, I'm hoping this thing will be an easy runner. I gotta do all the usuals for it, gotta change the tires out, the back one doesn't even hold air, and after the rear tire blew on me riding the high torque, I just don't mess with old tires anymore. It's honestly so not worth it. Got these awesome instructions here for mixing the fuel, and one for a spark plug. I haven't seen one of those before. Some cool coloring here on the flywheel side of things. Oh, and I should have explained, for my viewers who are from Europe, I'm not sure how many of these you've seen, but this is a 2-speed ZA50. The A stands for automatic. It's my understanding that they sold the automatic here in the US to meet the federal standards, and in Europe they sold something called the Z50, which was a 2-speed manual, and I believe the shifter was mounted at the controls. So yeah, I'm really excited to work with 2-speed, especially a Puch 2-speed, and we'll take a look at the condition of the pucks and a few other things and get a chance to really explore this guy. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm not sure I quite want to dabble with performance modifications on the 2-speed as of yet. This thing will be a nice stock rider, and I'm just still kind of blown away by cosmetic shape it's in. Alright YouTube, well, hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry they've been a little bit scarce lately since the semester started. I've been really backed up, but doing my best for you guys, and hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, until next time.